Welcome back to another Schmattz Outdoors video. Check 3. We got a good water line out yesterday. Ended up with 111 muskrat sets, if my count is right, out yesterday. So, and a couple mink sets and a beaver set. The trick with all those is going to be, it's only 16 degrees right now, so let's see how many of them aren't frozen. I did throw in my icebreaker here. I mentioned it, I think, in yesterday's video, but she's pretty high tech. We got a, I don't know, foot long 2x4 screwed to a 1x2. I've sanded the handle down a little bit. So as you're walking, you know, a guy can like just push the ice down in front of you. You can bang on the ice with the, you know, use it like a hammer. But mostly, like I said, I just kind of push on the ice in front of me to break the ice. You know, that way I don't have to worry about it cutting my waders or anything like that. I don't have to get my hands wet. The trick is it's made out of wood. Wood floats. So I can walk out to my set, you know, bust the ice all the way to them and just set it down. You know, and take care of any catches or grab my pole sets or whatever I have to. You know, and then just grab it and carry it out with me. So works good. I've used it for, I made it kind of a couple years ago just as something to try, and like I said, it works good. Like I said, more than anything, it saves my waders, because like I said, you start walking and you're rubbing against those ice shards, you know, and like even using your knees or your foot to try and bust the ice kind of sucks. So especially if you're knee deep or deeper in the water. So like I said, that works good. I can just go right in front of me and bust the ice. So I should be able to get out to all my sets this morning because of that. But we're going to have to make a judgment call on every one of them, to whether or not it's worth leaving them for another day. I did right at the end of my line yesterday. I did like a check on some of the very first ones that I set. And some of them already had a little ice built up on the poles. So like my 110s and stuff, some of them may have some ice actually on the actual traps, and I don't know what I'm going to do about it other than knock the ice off and reset them if, you know, if I'm going to leave them. Hopefully, you know, they were working long enough into the night to make some catches, hopefully. So yeah, like I said, we're going to get out there. I added one raccoon set as it yesterday. So I still got the 12 coyote sets, and now I got 25 raccoon sets out. I've mentioned it other years in my videos. If the temperature is below freezing, typically that shuts my raccoon line down, and you guys have seen it already this season. It hasn't hardly been above freezing this entire season, other than the first day when I was setting, but it cooled off overnight. So that first night was maybe my best chance. So we'll see eventually here, you know, if it stays cold like this, we get a little bit of warm up, even up to like 40 degrees during the day. We'll probably make a raccoon catch or two, you know, those be out and moving around. That's if my raccoon sets aren't all froze up too. So yeah, I don't really have too much else for you. Like I said, we're going to have some catches for you. I imagine we got a few muskrats. I'd love to get about 20. My hope was to trap for like get 2 good checks out of my line and catch about 20 muskrats a day. That put me at 40. Is it worth all the effort for that? Yes, we're going to make it worth it. I can't get around to put out too many more land sets anyway, so I might as well go hard after these muskrats for a couple days here. I really do want to get that beaver caught. If I don't, it's not the end of the world. Nobody asked me to go trap him out of there or anything like that. He's not a nuisance one. But I would like to get a beaver caught this fall for you guys. Yeah, and the 2 mink sets are just some trail sets. I put some 110s in there yesterday. I threw in some 150s, you know, just a single spring, you know, a little bit bigger size trap in case it is something different than just a mink running through there. You know, if a guy snaps a skunk in a 110, they should be able to pull out of it. but how much are they going to spray before they do? At least like a 150. If a skunk hits it, you know, I have a decent chance of killing him. A raccoon's going to pull right out of either one, I think. But all right, I think that's all I got for you guys today. Like I said, we're pretty well loaded up here. I did take out, I consolidated all my muskrat traps into this one tote. I didn't have that many left anyway. I was going to throw both totes out, but thought, well, if we end up pulling some, I want a little bigger tote to be able to throw them in. This is to throw my muskrat catches in, just to kind of keep them from freezing to the box, freezing to other things, and getting like other animals wet if I do make some other land catches. And yeah, I'm using sugar beets and carrots for my pole sets. I'm actually going to throw those in my truck. They probably are froze actually sitting here. Maybe not in the garage, it might have stayed warm enough, but we're going to set them in the inside the truck. We'll replace bait as I need to going on the line. You know, 110s, you know, typically I'll lose my carrots, so I just carry a little pouch with, you know, a handful of each in there, you know, and I just kind of keep replenishing that as I go through the line. You know, I rebait the sets as I need to. Re-lure them if I make catches. Probably should re-lure everything today, but I'm not going to walk out to every set unless I absolutely have to. So it just takes way too much time. I don't think there's any benefit to it. So if they're iced in, obviously I'm going to walk out to them and bust the ice around them. At minimum, bust the ice around them if I'm not going to pull them. So if they're still in the open water where they're not frozen, if I can see them, I'm not going to mess with them. So if I can see that they don't have catches without walking right up to them, I'm not going to mess with them. So, all right, I think that's all I got. We're going to get out on the line. Hopefully we got some catches for you guys. Hopefully we're not frozen as bad as I think we're going to be. But one nice thing is it's pretty bluebird skies right now. The sun is just peeking over some clouds to the east. So we're going to get out there. The sun should come out. It should warm us up a little bit. Even though the temperature may not actually even get above freezing today, that sunshine shining into those sloughs should help kind of warm the water up a little bit and maybe kind of slow down, if anything, the buildup of ice, or even, you know, reduce the ice a little bit if it warms up that, you know, the heat shining into the sloughs warms them up that much. So we're kind of in that weird zone right now where they're going to probably freeze overnight, open up some during the day, and then freeze again overnight. Hopefully again for a couple checks here. So all right, let's get out there. Well, everyone, my fears have sort of come true. We're just getting to the very first water sets of the morning, and I don't know if you guys can really tell, but the slough is completely froze over. There's actually a bunch of geese setting down right here, setting on top of the ice over there. They didn't even keep a hole open where the geese are setting. So I got two sets right over here, two behind me here, and then I got two about here, and then two more towards the corner on that side. So we're gonna shut you guys off, but like I said, it was cold. Like I said, it got down to 16 at least. I actually do feel like now that the sun's shining, it's warmed up just a little bit, but like this slough ain't gonna open back up again, because again, it's not supposed to get above freezing all day. And I don't think the wind's supposed to really pick up or nothing, where it would, if it got a hole open, it would blow it open again. So we're gonna get my icebreaker out. I won't probably video too much of that. Maybe later on today I might, but not to begin with here. We're gonna just start trudging through sets because it might be a long day on the line running, checking everything. But kind of my cold, calm, clear night last night, and froze everything up on me. So I kind of knew this going in, that it might be one check on some of these sets, but hopefully there are some in some of these bigger sloughs that didn't freeze over. So like this slough in particular had, I don't know, like 10 feet of ice around the outside of it, you know, like from the cattails out. So my sets are actually out beyond where the ice was at, you know. And then when I checked these sets at the very end yesterday, I didn't have nothing caught, or I'd have showed you, but the ice had like melted back all the way to like the cattails. So that gave me a little bit of hope that it wasn't going to do this. But with no wind, cold temperatures, you know, just perfect recipe. We had you know, like 30-mile-an-hour winds for a day and a half there, you know, when it was below freezing. And I think just that churning of the water and all that cold air blowing on it makes them actually freeze up faster than if it would, even if it'd stay calm and be below freezing. That wind just kind of cools off the sloughs so much faster than they would normally cool off. But all right, like I said, I'm gonna put you back inside my waders. We're gonna take my jacket off so I don't get all wet here, or get it all wet. And we're gonna start busting ice, start pulling sets. So again, it's gonna take me a minute to get, you know, the sets pulled out of the slough and then take them back apart. You know, I pull the poles out of them, all that. So it'll take me a minute here on these 8 to get these pulled. I know the next sets aren't too far down the road here, but like I said, I kind of wondered if this wasn't going to be the case. Like I said, let's hope some of them worked at least long enough into the night to make some catches for me, but darn ice. Well, guys, we got good news and we got bad news. So I literally just pulled the first 2 sets on the other side of the road here. You can see my truck parked there. Broke my icebreaker. Oh, I'm falling in the slough here. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it split my board open. So we're gonna have to wire this all back up the best I can, and because boy, there's like 3/4 of an inch of ice. But I got 2 sets out here. Luckily, I have a pair of gauntlets here. So I'm just pushing down on the ice in front of me here. I don't know, that's 5/8 of an inch ice it put on overnight. Because I said these straps were completely out of the ice yesterday afternoon when before we pushed too much mud. I hope you guys can see, right here's a muskrat frozen in the ice. And right here's the tail of a muskrat frozen in the ice. So we got ourselves a double here. We have to be careful with this muskrat that's frozen in the ice here. So there you go. He ain't very big, but I got him. Oh, that one's a good sized one there. So we got 2. Again, we got some ice on each one of them. It's gonna take me a minute to get them working again. We're gonna have to fix up my icebreaker here too. Well, maybe it'll be worth it. Like I said, hopefully a guy can get like 20 caught today. That's my goal for today. I was hoping to get like 20 today, 20 tomorrow, but you know, that may not happen if I end up pulling so many sets, because there's 8 sets right here. So that's you know, 1/12 of my line that I have out is getting pulled just in this one swoop. So it's gonna be a long day on the line if it's gonna be like this, because putting them out is easy when there was no ice, but if there's gonna be 5/8 of an inch, it's gonna be a long day. But all right, and some of these we may not end up really tearing them apart honestly today. We may just start piling them in my truck. I hate to do that, but some of them are going to be iced in so bad I'm not going to hardly be able to get the trap and stuff slid off. So we'll take apart the ones I can. We'll try and knock a little of this ice off. We'll drag them out the way they are. Try and get some of the ice knocked off of them. Get the muskrat out of the trap as quick as I can so he don't freeze in my trap, and get moved down. Like I said, I got 4 more on the other end of this slough, and let's hope some of these sloughs didn't freeze over like this one did, because like I said, it put on most of 5/8 of an inch of ice just overnight. So I have a funny feeling there's going to be a lot of frozen traps today. All right, guys, so I'm just to the other end of that same slough. So the 2 on this side is where I broke my icebreaker. I got it fixed up a little bit, but I hope you guys could see this dark cloudy area? That's a muskrat run up in there, and you see the bubbles coming out. My foothold is set off, my conibear is not. So we're gonna see. I don't want to step in that run because it's quite a bit deeper in there. The ice is a little shallower on this end. know I don't see a muskrat below that guy. Oh no, and I have a miss. Here, I thought for sure when it was set off I'd have something in there. All right, we'll get these two pulled and we'll get those other two on the other side of the road. If I have anything over there, I'll let you know. All right, guys, I'm trying to block it from the sun here. I showed this place quite a bit last year. So what we got is like a little finger of this slough on this side. It goes over here and it opens up to a much bigger slough. The ice line is like right at this point here. So my sets down that way are probably still working. Right here, there's actually a culvert comes under the road here. And it was open about this far out. And of course my set was like right there. It was opened about here. So I'm gonna leave this one foothold here. My conibear was set off over here all iced up. So pretty much, I think every trap's been working except for one before, and then this 110 was set off. Otherwise they were all working. So I thought maybe the ice would set my 110s off or mess with things like that, but I don't think it must not have. But I did throw this colony trap back in this culvert like I do every year. And bingo bango, we got ourselves a nice muskrat in there. So we're gonna actually get that colony trap back in this culvert here. And like I said, we're gonna leave this foothold set here, hopefully in this little bit of water that might be coming out from underneath this road here. I did see when I was here, the other side of this slough was froze over yesterday already. And I did see there was a muskrat swimming, and he was popping his head up through the ice over there yesterday. And I actually thought he almost come into this culvert while I was on the other end. But I didn't have my set here or nothing yet, unfortunately, because I was just trying to find the culvert. But yeah, another muskrat that makes 3 for the day now. Let's see, and I got 20 sets pulled already that are all been iced in. Oh, 22, 23 sets now, including these two. But we're gonna leave 2 here. Like I said, some of them down there, I might move just a little bit to get them more into that open water. But we're gonna leave them for another day. Like I said, if there's a chance that they aren't gonna freeze up, we're gonna leave them, so. All right, we'll get this guy out of here. We'll get this colony trap back in this culvert, and we'll continue busting ice. All right, guys, so I'm down to the other end of that same slough where I just had the one in the colony trap. So again, the smaller part of the sloughs on the north side of the road is completely froze over. And on the south side over here, my sets were froze in, but there's only a little bit of ice around them, so I'm gonna move them down the shoreline. And I dropped one of my poles with the 110 on there, just tipped over, and I can't find the damn thing. It's in like 4 feet of water. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use one of my bait clips here and see if I can drag it on the ground and hook it. But both of these sets are actually set off. So you can see how I use that. I just push down on the ice. So I got that one free. So I'm gonna pull both of these sets anyway, regardless of what if anything is on them. And we got a blank on that one. Oh, and we got a knocked off trap on that one. So 2 empties. Like I said, we're gonna use this bigger pole with my bait clip and see if I can't find my other trap over there. Just turn my bait clip upside down so it's hooked this way, and then I'm just gonna drag it on the bottom and hopefully either hook my pole or hook my trap or the chain or something. It's tipped over right next to my other set, but I can't feel it with my feet, so just what I needed to be screwing around. Hopefully I can catch it like in one good swipe here and be done. Well, that's a bummer. I thought maybe I had a double here with 2 traps set off, but again, we're pulling these 2. We're gonna leave the 2 across the road, and I left 2 more on the other side of the road down there, plus that colony trap and the one in front of that. So I still got 6 sets here. It's the only ones I've left so far. All right, guys, so we're making our way through the line. I did leave 2 more muskrat sets. They're by a culvert and they're leaving the water was open. The funny thing is, both of them were actually set off when I got there, so I don't know if a mink come through there and set them both off. You know, they're just 110s, so I don't know. a smaller mink, a 110 will hold. You catch a big buck mink, I'm not sure if a 110 will hold them or not. They're half submerged in the water, half in and out, so basically like a trail set. But what we have here, we got this big slough. It goes way down over to here and it runs almost a half mile that way. You know, a few years ago I had sets all the way along the road, but it was froze over yesterday, except for right here by this big culvert. So what I did is I got as close to the culvert as I could get and put my sets. And you see this one's iced in with nothing in it. This one's set off. This was a 110. And it looks like we got ourselves a nice big muskrat there. So that makes the 4th one for the year. But the bummer of the whole situation is on this end of the culvert down here. So again, the bigger part on that side, the smaller part of the slough's over here. But I don't know if you guys can see it, but the bubble trail goes right here, right around, and it goes out this way. And this is actually open out about that far, where yesterday it was only open right to the edge here. But I got a foothold there and a conibear there that are both still working. So I don't know, I ended up with one on this side, but that side, the two that are still working, you know, are actually not even frozen or nothing, have nothing. So that's kind of a bummer. We're gonna leave these here. We're gonna bust a little of the ice right here by the culvert. So the culvert under the road actually will stay warmer, and that will keep it from freezing under the road here. So, and I wonder with the wind blowing out of the west coming in my face right now, if it ain't blowing some of the heat from inside or moving the water from underneath the culvert that way, and it's keeping it open a little more on that side. But we'll get this muskrat out of here. We'll get a little ice busted on this side of this culvert, and we'll move on. So I think, what are we up to? This will be 12 sets I'll have working tomorrow. So, well, better than nothing. Got 4 in the truck now. All right, guys. Still plugging through, just pulling muskrat sets. We'll talk about it later when I get home, my whole thoughts on all that. But what we have this great big slough. I mean, there's a little scum of ice along the edge. I have 2 sets kind of right here. The 110 was set off with nothing in it, which it don't look like nothing chewed. I imagine it was the ice. But what I did is I moved them over and out a little bit farther to get them out past the ice that's here. The wind is blowing into this side, so you know, the wind's blowing at me here. So hopefully it'll, like over here, it's grinding up this ice here. So I'm gonna move this set and this set, but my 110 is set off here. And we got ourselves a catch. Got ourselves not a big muskrat, but a nice muskrat there. So I said, we're gonna just move this out to like just past this ice. I might even break a little of this ice and push it that way with the wind and get them out another 6 feet beyond where I have them here. It may be dumb, they might be frozen in the morning, but at least I have a chance until then that, you know, they'll be working with the wind blowing in here. Maybe they'll be working in the evening, or maybe I'll catch a muskrat during the day here. So, all right, we'll shut you guys off. We'll get these moved and we'll move on. We got 2 more muskrat sets down here. This is where the one beaver house I thought the otter were going in and out of. The other one's down over that way where I had a couple pullouts. So we'll check those sets and we'll let you know if we got anything. Otherwise, we'll just keep busting ice. All right, guys, so we're still plugging through the line. Let's see, I've pulled 6, 8 more sets, 10 sets maybe since I turned you guys on. These are a couple that I'm a little disappointed by, but I think because the wind is blowing, that's looking south. The wind's blowing away from this shore here, so it ended up freezing out, and I ain't probably gonna be able to leave them because I know the wind ain't supposed to change direction. But I mean, like, to the other side of this slough is a half mile over there, so I mean, this thing is huge. So I thought maybe these would be some of the ones that would actually still be working, you know, for a day or 2 more here. You know, that this would be big enough that it wouldn't freeze over. But I'll show you. I mean, that's just overnight. I don't know if it's quite a full 1/2 inch, but it's gosh darn close. But I do have a catch here. I noticed my 110's missing, and I could see, hopefully right here you guys can see, that's a tail. Ooh, and a big one too. Nice big muskrat there. So that's the number 6 for the day. I figure I got roughly 80 of the sets checked already. So now I'm up to 6 muskrats. So that's only 1 in 10. Not good. But we'll keep going. We'll get this guy, get this other set right here busted out of the ice. Get out of here. Like I said, I'm just about to where that beaver set is. I'm hoping that ain't frozen. If it is, I'm gonna pull it, and that beaver is safe for the year. So, all right, guys. So we're basically to the next slough. This is one I've never actually trapped muskrats in before. There's a bigger one across the road. It's like 3 fingers all come up to the road. And this side here, it's just one small finger of water sticks in here. There's actually another one down a little ways this way, but that one was froze completely over yesterday. This one had no ice in there at all. Even up here by shore, it had none. My 110 was still working here, but I could see as I walked out here, we got ourselves a nice big muskrat right there. So a new slough I never set in. I mean, these are the first 2 traps I've checked in this side, and I got a muskrat. So I don't know, we'll probably be putting some more sets in here down the road. Not this year, obviously, but down the road. You know, and like, again, we got a 1/2 inch of ice or better on here. I don't know, it was a risk to put them out. We're paying the price picking them all up today, but we're making a few catches, so all's not lost. I guess I didn't even notice this. There's a little feeder hut right here. Didn't even notice that yesterday. Probably a good chance why I caught one right here, but I say that, but I've had plenty that are literally, I've been putting sets within 6 feet of some houses and they ain't been messed with. So I just don't know when it froze up, or if they just didn't move before it froze up, or what happened here. But all right, we'll get these 2 traps picked up and out of here. I got 2 more here on this side, and I got 2 more on the other side of the road over here. And then the next set should be the beaver set, so we'll turn you on when I get there. All right, everyone, so I'm to the slough where the beaver house is. So the beaver house is right at the point of my hammer there, but I'm not so sure there ain't a beaver swimming. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but he is right here. Something's swimming there. It looks like too big to be a muskrat. I do have 2 muskrat sets right here that are both set off though. So I'm gonna bring you guys along here. I grabbed my caster. There's 0 ice on this slough, this big slough here. So we're gonna leave this beaver set. Even if I make a catch here, we're gonna leave it. I'm kind of wondering if the otter ain't in here again. The fact that both of my sets are set off here, or something is screwed with both of them. So I'm assuming you guys could probably see my foothold is laying right there. My carrot's laying on the bottom over there, but my bait is gone. Looks like no catches there. Obviously at 110 I can see my carrot's still there, but so I thought about trying to put some kind of otter set in here too. I don't know if there is otter in here, but I did catch that one 2 years ago in here. Basically trying to trap a beaver out of the same house. I had my set then right on the edge of the rocks over there, but that beaver was cutting up in these trees. You know, he was trimming some up in here. So I knew he was coming over this far. I didn't know this beaver's got no trimmings up in these trees at all. So I didn't really want to put my set way back by the road. It's supposed to be a north wind, which is blowing away from the beaver house the entire time. So I tried to get it a ways out here. Farther than I'd have liked. I'd have liked to have it like in here somewhere, or right over here. but there just wasn't a good spot where there was any sign like he's going in and out or anything like that. So far I don't see nothing floating out by my stake, but that doesn't always mean nothing. So to kind of show you, I would say the beaver's been here. I still don't see nothing floating here. I hope I didn't miss him. So my stake should be right out here, because right here's my cable. Something's definitely been here, because my trap was right here, and then I put this kind of clayey mud up here on the bank. Something else put this more mud up here. Well, I'm gonna set my trapping hammer down. I didn't know if I needed that, but it's a long walk out here. We're gonna try to do you one gauntlet glove here. So a stick right here over the top of my slide cable. I don't like that. Of course, I had a whole bunch of sticks next to my set there to block them in here too. Oh yeah, there is something here. Hope you guys can see it. It's right here. There it is. Looks like a beaver there. Not a terribly big one, but so what I have, I made myself a T-bar stake. It's 30 inches long on the bottom, and then it sticks up, well, most of 18 inches after that. Got myself a beaver, not a big one though. So I have a funny feeling there's gonna be another one in here. Just trying to get him dragged back to shore here so you guys see him a little better. I don't think that's even a 2-year-old. That looks like a 1-year-old beaver. And the one I seen, like I said, the house is out here around the corner. I walked out there, and then the bigger one was out here in the middle, splashing his tail at me. So yeah, nice beaver for the day. I'll take that. Like I said, there's zero ice. There's no ice along the shore here at all. So we're gonna reset this. This might be my slough that I can actually check for a few days. I'm half tempted to drop a few more muskrat sets. Like I have some here, but drop some over on that side over there. I may do that too. Like I said, I already got to come here to check these beaver sets. I might as well. I just dropped a couple muskrat sets. The last time when I had the beaver set here, I caught one muskrat, I think, right away, and that was it. Something obviously played with my sets up there. So yeah, like I said, looks like a year-old beaver. We'll take him. Like I said, we'll get my set remade. We're gonna like dig most of his dirt off of there, his caster off of there. We're gonna dig my own clay and put it back up there again. I'll get a few more sticks. So what I had, my trap was basically right here, setting sideways so the beaver come over the lever. Oh, standing on the stake. So you can see my trap caught him sideways. And that's how I have my set. In case you get like a front foot catch, he's got to basically get all the way to the center of it, and then it's going to catch it from the sides. I've had better luck with that positioning, you know, with the lever towards the bank and away from the bank rather than my trap setting sideways. Because I've had some real iffy like toe catches, like literally catching one knuckle, and different things go on with them setting the other way. I've had better luck setting sideways, or, you know, sticking out from the bank. So yeah, like I said, we'll take this mud off of there, you know, the best I can, because I imagine he marked his own caster there. We're going to put some of my own mud back. Bingo bango. I think we're up to 7 muskrats now and a beaver. Unfortunately, not a very big beaver, but a beaver. Like I said, I thought there was only going to be maybe a pair in there, but this one looks, I don't even think he's a 2-year-old. Looks like a 1-year-old to me. Ugh. I mean, there you get a little better look compared to my hand. He's only like a 20-pounder, I bet, so All right, like I said, we'll get him out of here. Set remade. We'll get my 2 muskrat sets reworking up there. And like I said, I may go down the road down over here on that corner, because with the wind blowing that way, it should stay not from freezing for the longest on that side of the slough, I would think. So beaver down. Mark another animal off the list. I got a lot to go if I'm going to catch the slam this year. So all right, I'll let you guys go. Let's get to work. All right, everyone, so we're moving along the line here. I pulled a couple sets since I caught that beaver. So what I got is a bigger slough on the other side of the road where my pickup is, and there's a culvert comes under here. And I actually got 3 colony traps blocking it off on that end, but I had a 110 right here and a foothold here. You could see, I don't know if you can, right here is the edge of the ice, and then right there's the edge. Like, this whole little section over here is open still. And there was only just a spot like this much kind of over here open yesterday, and I thought, you know, I'm gonna put some sets there. They're basically right in the road ditch here. Let's see. Oh, we got a miss. Oh yeah, part of my carrots chewed on there. So I may move these just a little bit or just make sure. There we go. So there we got ourselves a nice big muskrat. If anything, I may bust just a little bit of this ice, like, you know, as part of this. Well, just like that. And I'm gonna remake these 2 sets and leave them right here. I might move this one over that way just a little bit and get this one set about where it was. The water's open right now, and as cold as it's been, it's like the muskrat's got a little trail going right here, and it goes all the way over that way, and then it goes over this way. There's a big hut over there and another one in the corner, so maybe with the culvert here or whatever, it's moving enough water to keep it open right here. So it's froze over on the other side. I've pulled 2 sets over there. I haven't checked the colony traps, but I kind of think I might have something there too. I'll turn you, once I get these remade, I'll turn you guys back on over there. Man, the wind is picking up out here too. It's getting just downright chilly. All right, so we're just across the road. Here's the bigger part of that slough. I had 2 muskrat sets down there, pole sets, 2 over here with nothing in them. But I just found it interesting. Look at the bubble trail here. There's another big chunk of bubbles over here. Like here, it don't look like there's a run or nothing there. It's just like it's coming out of the bottom and pooling there. I don't really see a run here, like where they're actually going in the bank, but there definitely looks like a trail goes right out here. And then we got bubbles here. We're gonna get on this side here. So here is the culvert right here is the mouth of it. So I have like 1 colony trap here, 1 here, and 1 kind of over there. Anybody who does a lot of water trapping knows if you have a big bubble pocket like that above your sets, like beaver sets or anything else, typically that means catches. But we're gonna have to get a good chunk of the ice broke here so I can get over in front of these. So obviously I haven't actually checked anything here yet. All right, push some of the ice away. Well, so what I have the poles for is I wire my colony traps to a stake. If you would happen to get a mink in there or even an otter in one of these, they can move your thing around, and I want it staked down so they can't move them. All right, we'll pull the first one out. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if you guys could see it. Got 2 nice little guys in there. They got the thing plugged up on this end. And I got 2 wired to this stake here somehow. We hit the mother lode, boys. So So I got a single in this one. This is a 6x6. The first one I pulled out was a 6x6. This middle one is a 7x7, and there are 4 in there. So we got 4, 5, 6, 7 in my 3 colony traps here. Well, that would definitely help my average out. Holy crap, damn near doubled. I think between, if you add the 8, the one I caught on the other side of the road was number 8. That more than, I think, doubled, if not more than doubled the amount I had all the rest of the day just in these couple sets. So obviously I could check these even if it freezes up a little bit here. You know, I can bust the ice to get them open and pull them back out of here. 7, yes. Like I said, that would definitely help the average out. So I got one more slough that's got 8 on there, you know, 2 on each side of the road on both ends of the slough. So 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and then we'll be done. So I got 8 more traps left to check. Wow, 7 in these colony traps. That's crazy. A single, there's 4 in there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a pair in there. I mean, like this one and that one are pretty good size. There's this one and these 2 are pretty small ones, but you can't really dictate what's going to go into your trap. And it looks like, I mean, all these were trying to come out towards me. I would assume, just doesn't mean they're coming from that other way, but it just means that they were trying to get back out to get air out here in the open slough. You know, they don't want to go out the other end and then be in the culvert that's under the water. Then they got to swim all the way to the other end to get out. So, all right, we'll quit blabbing here. I got a little work in front of me to get all these out of here. These are kind of a pain in the butt to get put back in there. So we're going to put you away. We'll get this all reset and we'll get on the way. All right, everyone, we made her home. I'm exhausted. My back is sore already. My hands are sore. My shins hurt. So I was walking, busting ice on the way out. It wasn't so bad because you're kind of pushing the ice. You know, I was using a gauntlet glove on one hand. I don't know if you noticed that in the video, but I had a gauntlet on one side so I could push. And then the other hand, I was using my icebreaker there. And it wasn't so bad walking out. You know, I get my sets out and, you know, set the traps off, all that, and take the bait off. But it was walking back. It's like the ice kind of all leveled back into my trail, my path that I broke out there. Well, then when you were walking out, it's like they jammed up against the other pieces of ice, and then they were like banging into my shins and all kinds of stuff. So it just kind of sucked all around. So my shins hurt. Like I said, my back hurts from pushing ice and all that. Way more ice than what I expected. I thought most of the sloughs there'd be a decent chance they'd still be open. There was, I don't know, better than a half an inch, I would say, on every slough. Some had closer to 3/4 of an inch. I mean, just looking like right there, that's been riding around in my truck and it's got a half an inch ice and it caught in that trap. So, yeah. Was kind of a dumb move maybe to put them out. I knew that kind of going in that might be the case. I kind of let my ambition get the better of knowledge, or I don't really know what to really say there, but I knew on a normal year, if the forecast would have been like it was supposed to be last night or even like yesterday, I would have been pulling my line, right? You know, so if I had them out for any length of time before that, if I knew it was going to get like that last night, I'd have been pulling them. So I don't know, I probably shouldn't even put out what I did, you know, put them out, honestly. I did think though, like, you know, I wasn't putting them in the ice when I was putting out sets, right? You know, I was making sure that they weren't like in the actual ice that was around the edge of the slough. I was making sure I was out beyond that. I figured that, you know, the muskrats would have moved like right at dark, because they were moving some during the day, because I even seen a few again today while I was pulling sets. But I thought that they wouldn't freeze up real soon and a guy would have had a decent chance to make some decent catches today. Either they just didn't swim by my traps or didn't want to deal with them. I don't think like my lure probably works as good when it's well below freezing. So there's all that. yeah, so I probably made a mistake. I mean, I did end up with 15 muskrats today, so whether you think that's a mistake or not, it was a lot of work putting them all out. If my count is right, I think I pulled 85 out of the 111. Is that right, math? I don't know. Or 87 maybe. I don't know. I left 25 out and I added 2 more. So I got 27 muskrat sets out right now. To check tomorrow. We'll be probably pulling a few more tomorrow that'll be iced in. There are some that are by like those culverts and stuff. The colony traps, they should be working underneath the ice. So some of those may make, catches again tomorrow. And we're going to leave them for a few days here, at least until it gets too much to bust the ice above them. Any of the open water stuff, like where that Beaver is, that had no ice on it at all. So those might be there a few days before they finally freeze up. I don't think there's a lot of muskrats in that particular slough anyway. But I do want to try and catch the Beaver out of there. If I catch one, like big one, I thought there was going to be like a 60-pounder in there. I caught like a year-old 20-pounder, so I thought there's going to be one big one, and that may be it. So if I catch like a big one tomorrow, I may end up pulling that Beaver set out of there. And again, we'll kind of see the ice, what the ice does. But all right, we're going to give you a little rundown of my truck here. What I did is I took all the muskrats and that Beaver down in my basement because some of them had ice on them and everything else, and then they were freezing together just being in my truck driving around. Because again, it's below freezing. Even now it's like 28 degrees, and that's the warmest I've seen all day. So I got them down there. They're going to unthaw and hopefully dry out. I'm going to turn a fan on them and try and dry them, and I'll be skinning all that stuff tomorrow. And I'll show you that when I get back up to the house. But here's the tote. So that basically that tote was empty other than just a few traps of each kind in there is all that was left from yesterday. And you can see what I got in there. There should be, like I said, they're probably close to 100 traps in that tote right now. These 3 need a little extra tuning, I felt like. And again, I got all my poles over here. We're going to take all these longer ones out of there. Some of these 5-footers will leave because I use them 5-footers to mark my coyote sets. I may actually pull all these out of there and just grab some clean ones that ain't dirty, muddy, froze together like some of these are probably going to be. Grab me 25 and I can use them for marking coyote sets. But it's going to be land trapping pretty much for, I'll be, like I said, I do have a few muskrat sets out, so we'll be checking those again tomorrow, but it's only going to be a day or 2 probably, and I'll be done with that too. So, and then it's going to be land traps. So I'm going to try and probably starting tomorrow, we're going to try and start adding some coyote sets. I don't think it pays to add too many raccoon sets because the temperatures are low enough. Like I told you, they kind of den up and they don't seem like they move around as well when it's this cold out. So I may not even catch a raccoon this season, as dumb as that is to say. Last year, I had 30 of the things. So it's just what a difference a year makes and what a difference the temperatures it make, So, and then even like muskrat trapping, if I could have set traps on Friday and checked them yesterday, I probably would have had a pretty good catch rate because there wasn't a lot of stuff like, most of the sloughs are still obviously wide open because I put sets in there. So, 1 day difference here made all the difference in me being frozen today as opposed to making catches. So, and yeah, it's not supposed to get hardly above freezing all week here. So, like I said, it's going to be just a matter of time, a day or 2 here, and I'll be done water trapping is what it's going to amount to. I did have a landowner stop me and tell me that there's a bigger slough with some beaver in there. So I may investigate that in the next few days, and maybe if I can find a house or something, I could maybe set up and try and catch some of them through the ice. But, all right. Like I said, we're going to unload a bunch of stuff here. We're going to unload all this whole tote. I'm going to throw another tote in, and I may end up throwing just a few of these in to weigh the tote down because I still do have 25 sets out. So I'm going to need a tote to throw all them in. Maybe it doesn't have to be that big of a tote. It might be the only thing. So yeah, we're going to pull poles out, this box of traps out, and then we're going to get in the house where it's warm because I am chilled. And like I said, when I get back up to the house, we'll show you all the whole catch up there. I got them all kind of laid out in the basement drying on a rack. I have another piece of this style of a stuff. So I got them kind of all propped up, the muskrats propped up on that, and then I'm going to turn a fan on them and dry them, you know, so hopefully they can get a little air circulating around them and dry them all off. So yeah, I feel like I have to apologize for the lack of the down catch rate, you know, as high as I had hoped with getting that many sets out, and to end up with what I did. Honestly, without those 3 colony traps at the end there, it was looking pretty sad, honestly. So I'm not happy with the catch. I mean, well, I'm happy with it. 15 muskrats and a beaver today. I'm happy with that. With the conditions I ended up with, wasn't what I was hoping for. I mean, I told you I was hoping to catch like 40 rats in 2 days here. We're really going to have to pile them on tomorrow if we're going to get anywhere close to 40. Even total for the whole season, we're going to have to really pile them up. So I'm guessing my total might be closer to like 20 to 25 maybe for the entire season now. It is what it is. Like I said, you know, and out of all the seasons to have this mule deer tag and end up having to cut my line short, this might be the season to do it, because there's still tons of crops on, everything's muddy, froze up water trapping, you know, everything just kind of lining up to, you know, maybe I shouldn't have even really trapped at all this season, but we're going at it. We'll keep filming it so you guys can see it. Like I said, when I get back up to the house, we'll show you the catch quick right here at the end of the video. Otherwise, I appreciate you guys watching Schmattz Outdoors. Alright guys, so I'm down in my basement here. We're going to give you a little look at the catch for the day. Just the last little clip of the video here. We didn't do too bad, so we got the one little beaver. Like I said, he's like 20 pounder maybe. He's probably not even that much. I'm not going to weigh him, but he's just a kit from this year the way it looks. But I'm pretty sure there were not beaver in that swoop last year. So, boy, if he's a kit, that means there might be more than just the one big one in there that I thought, but we'll see. And then we got muskrats. So there's 7 on the top, and I got 7 laying here, and then this one here was a little extra wet, so I got him propped up. But like this one here, I hope you can see, like there's still ice on that one. That was one of the first ones, and then he was froze to this one in my milk crate today. So we're just gonna leave him hang there. Like I said, I got him like an inch off the ground underneath there. You know, this is off the ground. I got it leaning on a 2x4 up here. And then I got my fan right over here. We're going to turn my fan on and just run the fan over them at least till I go to bed tonight. And then we'll skin them all tomorrow. Alright, and I'll probably end up flipping that beaver at some point because he looks fairly dry on the top. But we'll flip him over so he dries on the back, or his back dries. Yeah, otherwise, like I said, we got to get some of these. They were all somewhat froze together. Even them last 7 I caught, I didn't have in my truck for very long, but they were already, like, all the water was starting to freeze on their fur and stuff. So, like, I don't want to skin them with ice. I don't mind if there's moisture on them. I'll still put them up like that. And then I just take an air hose and fluff them back up once they're dry, and I take them off the stretcher. So I don't get too worried about, like, I mean, none of these are super wet except for this one here. So, but I would have skinned all these had they not been froze today. So, all right. Like I said, that should be the last little clip of this video. I appreciate you guys watching Schmattz Outdoors. We'll see you guys out on the line tomorrow.